I wanted to talk about engineering by the secret societies. So in 1994, I was divorced, and in 2002, my ex sued me for custody of our children. And I'm in court, and the attorney his attorney gets a big grin on his face, and he says, "How old were you when your parents divorced?" And I said 13. And then he says, how many years were you married? I said 13. And he can barely contain himself. He's just ready to burst out laughing. And he says, "And how old is your youngest child now?" And I said 13. And I didn't understand. He was just beside himself, ready to laugh, burst out laughing, because I didn't understand what he was talking about. So you fast forward to, present day, and I finally put it all together that, because everything, it just didn't make sense that the same pattern that happened with my own parents, where my father was stepping out on my mother, and she filed divorce after he had an affair with his nurse, and my ex-husband was intimate with his secretary, and I mean intimate as in they were talking about me as if I was the intruder in their relationship, and putting me down, laughing at me behind my back, So he had been, even if he hadn't been physical, it was definitely an intimate a betrayal, and intimate with his secretary in that fashion. And I just could not. It was just weird how it was the same pattern. And then I discovered about the secret societies, and I had no idea. My ex, his attorney, and the judge were all part of the secret society. And his new wife is also a part of the secret society. I had no clue. I was married for 13 years. We dated for 2 years before we were married. I was sure, I knew him. I was sure that if he looked me in the eye and said something, that I would know whether he lied to me or not. And that's not what was happening. And then I discovered that what my ex was doing, which was, I'm afraid I'm going to get censored by YouTube, because they already pulled one of my videos because I said a word I can't repeat, but it wasn't actually a cuss word. It was kind of a version of a cuss word, because I was so upset of what I was saying. But he was having relations with me while I was asleep, and I have come to find out this is a thing with the secret society. And I didn't give my permission for it. And it seems to me that is part of their ritual. And it's not a respectful sort of relations. So, in 1975, there were a flood of divorces, and that was monumental for this country, because before that, people were reluctant to get divorced. They were, it was very much a conservative country, and people just did not get divorced. And then in 1975, it was a flood of divorces, more than this country had ever seen. And the more I find out about secret societies and how they use magic and cast spells, you know, it's an engineering of, my feeling is it was an engineering of divorces. And that people of secret societies deliberately married those who did not belong, hoping, I think, to convert them or have them lose their spiritual connection to the Creator. And you know, and then, you know, have children with them, I guess, to get fresh blood in the families, I guess. So that, and then take the children away, you know. All of my children, I love dearly. I was close to them. And then it's like they're brainwashed against you, and it's like a death that you can't even mourn. It tears you up inside.